Welcome to LUTV News InFocus, where we feature interesting topics on the campus, community, and in the world of culture. I'm Vanessa Guerrero. When we hear the term hero, the last thing we think of is ourselves. Texas author Kelly Fuhlman believes that we all have a hero in us waiting to put on their little red cape. She's here with me today to discuss her book, Be the Hero and Rescue Yourself, Creating the Inner Courage to Wear Your Own Cape. Throughout this book, Fuhlman shares her experiences and struggles to help readers take those lessons and apply them to their own lives. Thank you so much for being here with me today, Kelly.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's good to kind of sort of be home, but.
So I'm just going to jump right in and talk about the title of the book,
Mm-hmm.
Be the Hero and Rescue Yourself. Where did you come up with that, and what pushed you to make a book like this?
So I started the book probably almost a year and a half ago, and I had a title and didn't really like the title, but I just kept writing. I knew if I kept writing the book that the title would eventually come out. And when I finished the 10th lesson, as you saw in the book, I said, you know what? I said, there's been some amazing heroes in my life. I've had some amazing folks that have opened up doors, given me opportunities that I would have never thought of before. But at the end of the day, it was up to me to do the work, to rescue myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, be your own hero. And so then we kind of started playing around with it and be the hero and rescue yourself and creating the inner courage to put on your own cape. And, you know, I tell people all the time, sometimes that cape is going to be wrinkled. Sometimes it has holes in it, but just put it on and take one step in front of the other. And that's basically what the book is about. I wanted to truly rupture the self-help book industry to saying that there's a 10 easy steps to a sparkly, happy life with rainbows and unicorns everywhere. And unfortunately, as you know, and as you grow up, life will hand you some trauma. Sometimes you do it yourself. Sometimes it is done to you by others, but you're going to have to be the one that's going to ultimately rescue yourself. And I want people to know there's not 10 easy steps, and probably not my steps, because my world is completely different than yours. So you got it right. I wanted them to learn from the lessons and apply it to their life on how they see it, and how they want to become their own hero.
Right.
I just didn't want to tell people what to do.
Sorry, you talked a little bit, you said about, it's not 10 easy steps. Everyone goes their own pace. And you've talked about how you want to, debunk those 10 easy steps, and everyone's different. And I've also heard that your book is part book, part journal. Could you go a little bit into that?
Yep. So each one is not a chapter, it's a lesson. And inside these lessons are my stories of how other heroes have taught me lessons, and how I applied that and those lessons to my life. And then I asked some difficult questions at the end of each lesson with some lines inside of the book. And they get to journal and write down their own plan. I guess that's the educator in me. I've been in adult education since I left Lamar University and moved here to Dallas. And then my last stint was in training and development with the Walt Disney Company. So I wanted people to be able to adapt what they've learned and be able to put it into their own life, and not, try to be Kelly Fuhlman or try to be someone else. Be themselves, be their very own hero.
Right. And so aside from being an author, you are still teaching lessons through videos on YouTube. You have a YouTube channel where you share different lessons for children and young adults, and all the way to adults dealing with job issues. Could you tell me a little bit about how that got started and why you feel so inclined to do that?
So I've obviously graduated from the communication department there at Lamar, and I told my mom that I was going to make a living talking. That's what people were going to pay me for. So ultimately ended up graduating and moving here to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I've always been able to get out and speak depending on which role I was in with which organization. After getting laid off last year from Disney, my husband actually knew that this book was coming, and he knew that I wanted to start a podcast. So we had a back room here at the house that was my gym, but I left come down to Beaumont to help with my dad, who is working through Alzheimer's right now and doing really well, but just came down there. And I came back home and my gym was completely transformed into my podcast room. And so my husband gave me another opportunity to have a voice to help others learn the lessons that I have learned. Some people love to read. Some people enjoy podcasts. Some people enjoy, vlogs on YouTube. So I want to create an opportunity for everyone to learn, because I know that there's different learning styles all out there, and I want to be able to connect with as many people as possible and help as many people as possible. So I started kind of regrouping with my YouTube channel, taking YouTube creator courses and, learning and listening and reading and asking questions. And, here we are coming up on a year, and my YouTube channel is getting more and more views. It's not huge, but it takes forever to get there. But, it's one more person that I'm helping out that decides to subscribe and follow. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride. I'll tell you that much. Lots of learning.
Interesting. And so you are helping all these people with all these lessons. You yourself had to go through these lessons. Obviously, you've overcome many struggles, such as, dyslexia from a young age, drug addiction, and then just recently losing a job. What would you say to people that are having similar experiences right now in this current situation that are just feeling really low?
I will tell you, don't cut yourself off from your network and people who truly care. I will tell you that it has been my network, my husband, my kiddo, and then also my network that I have created here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that have truly sometimes, yanked me by my hair and said, okay, Kelly, stop hiding in your corner, stop eating all the Cadbury eggs and all the chocolate that you want, and get out and tell your story because other people need it. So rely on your network, build a solid circle of people that are going to support you, and then also be honest with you when you're starting to have too much of a pity party, too much. And it's okay to be disappointed. It is okay to be mad. It's okay to be angry that something didn't go the way you planned. But sometimes there's even lessons in that as well. So be angry for a moment, go do a punching bag, go run, go do something to get all that anger out, and then figure out another way around it, figure out another way over the obstacle, and utilize your network, meet new people who are going in the same direction you want to go, and ask them questions. How are they successful? I still do that. I'm 42 years old and I still call and ask, how can I get here? How can I move in this direction? How can I grow my podcast? How can I grow my network? How can I become a professional public speaker? So depend on your network. Don't worry about getting upset just for a little while, and just keep going. Don't stop. If you feel like you have a message, if you feel like you have something that will help others, just keep going.
I think that's really good advice, and things that people need to hear more often. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for watching LUTV News in Focus. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.